on this, because that at least in my experience, and Dan, I assume in yours as well, that's off limits, right?
Yeah.
Guys don't talk about other guys' money. RC, that seemed to me to be something I can't recall ever hearing.
Yeah, that KJ Wrights wrong here. I'm just going to be honest. You mentioned Tom Brady. Tom Brady has been the anomaly or the outlier when it comes to the contracts that he has taken, the contracts that he was given, and the way he wanted to be, so he can have a team that could be built around him. When you're a quarterback in this league, you should get every single dollar that you can get, every single dollar that allows you to feed your family, that you have worked for, and that Russell Wilson, in this case, has earned. And so for KJ Wright to mention his money, and here's one of those things, right? Like when you're about to say something disrespectful, you always go, no disrespect, but KJ Wright knows he shouldn't be counting other people's money. And he said that before he continued the conversation about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson earned that money. Russell Wilson was a guy that has carried this team through many of these years after the Legion of Boom. And so to me, KJ Wright is wrong in this instance. And tell me what other quarterback other than Tom Brady that has taken hometown discounts. None of them have. And so to call out Russell Wilson in this way almost seems personal to me for KJ Wright.
The numbers you're looking at on your screen demonstrate that going back as far as 2016, there's only been one time that a quarterback who took up as much as 15% of a team's cap wound up in the Super Bowl, and that was Matt Ryan in Atlanta that one year. So while it may be true, while it is obviously true that the quarterback taking up less of a finite amount of money is going to benefit the rest of the team, there has always been something off limits about other players saying it. Now, you were there in New England when Brady was doing that all the time. What is your perspective on this?
Yeah, and look, when you're in Tom Brady's situation, throughout his career, there was moments where he decided, okay, we'll manage some things, we'll move some money around to bring in some different pieces that will help us as a team win a Super Bowl. And that did work out in New England. But I can also tell you, when you're trying to go negotiate your contract, if you're the best guy on your team isn't making top dollar, their number one negotiation chip with you is, well, we can't pay you that much. Look at our best player doesn't make number one money in the NFL. He's the best quarterback, but he's not the highest paid quarterback because we're helping other people, help other positions.
Right.
So, I mean, look at Seattle. When they had Russell Wilson on a rookie contract, they had a great defense. They had a ton of people paid on defense. Once they had to put a lot of money in the quarterback position, a lot of those guys had to go. They had to cut a lot of contracts. So it's a decision. You have to make a choice. Do you want a highly paid guy? Do you want the highest paid guy? If you're that guy, can you make the pieces around you work, and does your draft work? Because if you don't pay, if you pay that guy a lot, your draft has to win.
Those Seattle teams had Richard Sherman, 5th round pick, Cam Chancellor. I mean, that's where they were really crushing it, getting high level, championship level production from the middle and late rounds of the draft. So I think teams use this as a crutch, right? I mean, because we see teams manipulate the salary cap different ways. I think teams use this as a crutch. Say, well, if we pay the quarterback, we can't pay the rest of the roster. When in fact, all it is a different kind of jigsaw puzzle. Like Russell Wilson had the highest cap hit of any quarterback this year, and they didn't make the playoffs. But Jimmy Garoppolo had the 5th highest, and he was still playing a game last week. Matthew Stafford's a top 10 cap hit, and he's in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes this year had the 20th highest cap hit in the league, and he didn't make the Super Bowl. So I think it's very easy to look at a list like we just showed and say, oh, well, this means that you can't do it if you pay the quarterback a huge portion of your cap. I think that's an excuse that teams use, and I don't think it's a player's responsibility to help a team manage its salary cap, and I have no idea why KJ Wright would say, I don't like to pick another man's pocket, and then go ahead and do exactly that in the next breath.
The bigger picture topic I'd like to get back to, because it's not about whether there's an obligation to, but I also do think there's something in the priorities that some quarterbacks might have that Brady had, and the way you could almost view it as an investment into something in the future. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.